Good night, dear candidates. I'm Anatole from Wechat, and tonight we are going to talk a very serious topic: work visa in China. Let's review the requirements for making the work permit on title of English teacher in China. Requirement number 1. You need to hold a passport of native English-speaking countries, such as America, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, UK, Ireland, and South Africa. Requirement number 2. You need to hold a bachelor degree. Requirement number 3. You need to satisfy only one of those requirements as listed. 3.1. You need to hold an international language teaching certification such as TEFL or TESOL. 3.2. Your major need to be relative to education or language. 3.3. You need to have 2 years teaching experience. So now let's start the explanation of the process for making work visa. I will explain the general process first, and then let's go into the details. For the general process for making the work visa in China, firstly, the HR manager of the school may ask you to prepare several documents and send it to her, such as bachelor degree, non-criminal record, TESOL certification, medical check, contract. So the HR will prepare the contract, and then you will send those documents by email or mail to the HR manager, generally email first and mail after. And then after 20 working days, that means 4 weeks, you will get a letter called the notification letter of work permit. So this letter contains 2 versions, one English version, one Chinese version, and those letters are always in PDF file, never original one. And those letters are normal A4 letter with a stamp of foreign export institution on it. So with this letter, the rate that you can successfully get your work visa is close to 99%. Okay, so when you get this letter, and then you take your passport and then go to the Chinese embassy, the Chinese embassy that you apply for work visa. After 1 week, so generally the process takes 1 week, you will get your work visa. So work visa is a visa attached to your passport. Okay, you could see the visa with a validation date. Okay, on title of Z, the validation date, that means you could entry after this date and before this date. That means before or after the latest date, your visa may expire. And why this place is written 000, that means in less than 30 days, you need to make work permit and residency permit in China. And numbers of entry only 1. Okay, so in those 30 days, you can't, we suggest that don't exist China before you get your residency permit. Okay, so this is work visa. And when you get your work visa, so congratulations, you can fly from your country to China, and then you will arrive in China, and then you will get a work permit issued by the foreign export institution of your city, so the local foreign export institution. And then you take your work permit, take your passport, then you could get a residency permit which replace the work visa. So the residency permit lasts for 1 year or 2 years, which replace your work visa. So that's the general process. Let's go into the details of the preparation of documents for the application of notification letter work permit. Okay, so here is a table that which could be your reference for all the documents. Okay, so let's start the first document, bachelor degree. Bachelor degree need to be notarized by a local lawyer or local foreign ministry first, and then it can be legalized by Chinese embassy in your home country. But in the situation, if you are already in China, there is another way to do the legalization, which can be recognized by the foreign expert institution in China. So you can also do the legalization of your bachelor degree in China by Chinese Service Center for the scholarship, for the scholarity exchange. Sorry, the name is a little bit long. So two ways to do the legalization of your degree: by Chinese embassy out of China, or by the education department in China. Second document, criminal background clearance. It can generally be done by local police station. One important notification is that the criminal background clearance must be a paper which is issued in less than 6 months from now. And the criminal background clearance also need to be notarized by a local lawyer or foreign ministry, and then legalized by the Chinese embassy and get the blue sticker. The TEFL TESOL certification also need to be notarized by a local lawyer or foreign ministry, and then legalized by Chinese embassy. So the TEFL TESOL certification also need a blue sticker. If you remember the requirements for getting the work permit as an English teacher in China that I mentioned in the beginning of the video, so there are 3 little requirements. You just need to satisfy one of those 3 requirements. If you satisfy the requirement 3.2, which means your major in your degree is already relative to education or language, in that case, you don't need to provide this paper, neither the legalization. And then if you satisfy the requirements 3.3, you have 2 years experience in teaching, so you could let your employer to issue you a letter as a reference letter or working experience. And this letter doesn't need to be legalized. In a nutshell, all those 3 documents, the degree, criminal background clearance, and TESOL, those are 3 documents which need to be legalized by Chinese embassy. Okay, so those are only 3 documents need to be legalized by Chinese embassy and get the blue sticker. And in those 3 documents, the degree can be also legalized by education department in China. Okay, and TESOL certification, if you make it in China by a Chinese TEFL school, so you don't need the legalization. And for the criminal background clearance, if your school asks you to come with other short-term visa first and then transfer to work visa, so the criminal background clearance is the only document which you need to prepare before coming to China. And in the same time, you could let your parents or friends do the legalization of Chinese embassy for you and then send it to you by DHL later. For the medical check, you can't just provide a random form. So your HR will send you a form called the physical examination record for foreigners. This form contains 2 pages, so we have just printed the first page. And you could bring this form to the local hospital or clinic for medical check. And then in the situation, if you are already in China, you could ask the HR to make an appointment with the health check department of local existing administration bureau to do a medical check in China. Besides, Medical check, the same thing as your non-criminal record. It must be a medical check in less than 6 months. Okay. The employment contract is quite easy, so the HR of the school will provide it and you will sign it. So in the employment contract, it will contain the starting date and ending date of your contract, so which means the starting date and ending date of your residency permit in China. You need to send a photo of your profile photo. It needs to be a serious photo with right background, and then your face may need to be relatively serious, which means you can't submit a photo when you are traveling, when you are having a party with your friends. So it need to be a serious photo like that. The last document, the scanned copy of your passport. One thing I need to mention for all the documents, so all the documents must be good scan photo or scan PDF with high resolution and with color. After the preparation of all those documents, you will email them to the HR of the school, and according to the different policies of different cities in China, some of the cities may require the original documents in paper. So for this, you need to confirm with the HR. Okay, and then after 20 working days, you will get a letter called notification letter or work permit, and you can bring this letter with your passport, fill in an application form, and apply for work visa in Chinese embassy. After 1 week, you will get your work visa. But if you apply in Hong Kong, so generally it takes only 2 days. When you get your work visa, fly back to China, the school will help you with your work permit and residency permit. After getting your residency permit, everything is done, finished. Congratulations. Thanks for watching the video. If you want to teach English in China without any visa issue, welcome to apply through our website, wooktalent.com.